welcome to Coffee with Ty, a part of Women's History Year with Spark. I'm here today, or I'm Ty, and this is Mandy, and I'm here today with Mandy to talk about her experiences as a single mother and a student. So, Mandy, can you tell us a little bit about what you juggle as a student and a mom?
Sure. So, I think anytime you're in school it's difficult, but I have a 5-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter, and that can make it really troubling sometimes, because some nights you have a choice between an extra story or doing the dishes or that homework assignment that you know is waiting downstairs for the kids to go to sleep. It's really hard to try to do homework when they're playing and you want to be a part of it. So it's a lot of juggling, and I think probably even more dropping than actually keeping things in the air. So something's always got to give.
That's okay. Good. God, I'm glad. You just graduated, right?
I did. I just finished my English degree.
Awesome. And what do you have planned for your future? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Right now I'm working, and next fall I plan to start my Master's of Fine Arts in Poetry.
Nice. So you're a poet.
I am. I didn't always think that was going to be the case, though.
No? Why did you choose poetry?
Well, actually, I feel a little bit like poetry chose me. I took a creative writing class, and I thought that fiction was going to be my genre, and as it turns out, I'm not so good at fiction. I'm a lot better at creative nonfiction and poetry.
Do you think that your experiences with your kids or any other life experiences have led you to be more into nonfiction than fiction writing?
Well, I think
Just
so.
writing in general?
We've definitely had some experiences that I feel a need to write about. Writing is very therapeutic. It's a gentle sort of act, and it's a way sometimes to turn something that wasn't beautiful into something that is not only easier to work with, but it's beautiful and it's enjoyable, and people like to hear it or read it.
For sure. Everybody loves to hear and read Mandy's poetry. Trust me. We'll hook you up with some sources, by the way. So do you work with the community, with kids or other adults, like within
I
your
do.
community or communities?
In fact, one of my favorite projects involves teaching creative writing workshops to women and children who have been affected by violence. I do some work with veterans as well, but I find it most enjoyable to work with the population that I mentioned. So I've worked with a local therapy office and also with the Safe House, and it looks like soon I'll also be doing some work at a mental health facility.
Oh, wow. Awesome. All right. Well, do you ever work with keeping your kids involved with your writing, or?
I do. I tried really hard not to push the whole writing thing on them. I didn't want them to feel like I was pressuring them in any way. Mm-hmm. But, my son has this idea that I'm famous, and I'm not, but it's really cute. And he wants to be like me, which is a huge compliment. So he's been trying to write, and my daughter writes in a journal every day, which I wish I'd developed that habit at her age. I would probably be a lot further along with my writing if I had done that. So it's really exciting.
That's amazing. Awesome. Do you prefer working with kids or with adults when you do workshops and sorts of things like that?
I really like both, but the thing I find about kids is they're less fearful than we are. So if I say, let's write a poem, they're like, yeah, and, I give them an idea and they just sort of run with it. Sometimes with adults I say, hey, let's write a poem, and they look at me, no, I don't want to do that. We're often so afraid to embrace that side of ourselves that's creative, or because our taste is this high, but maybe our ability is right here, and we're afraid that it's down here. And so, we end up cutting ourselves short before we even try. Kids just don't really do that.
No self-doubt yet. What would you say to overcome self-doubt for kids and adults trying to, especially women?
I wish somebody had told me to give myself permission to pursue what I was really interested in and excited about, and encouraged me to really just try it, because you can't hurt anything by trying it. And so my biggest advice is to just do it, and if you feel like you aren't good enough, keep doing it. Check out other people that are doing the same thing. Find somebody that you admire. The first poet I fell in love with was Emily Dickinson, and I was 8 years old. I found her book at a yard sale, and I didn't realize what I was picking up at the time. But it's clear even now that my work is really heavily influenced by hers.
Would you consider her a big influence in your life?
Absolutely. In fact,
poetry for sure.
Absolutely. I joke that I carry Emily in my back pocket. I named my daughter after her because I love her so much. And one of the things that I really admire about her is that even though she was writing at a time when women writing poetry weren't getting a lot of attention, and she was writing in a way that really defied convention. I mean, the woman would have 5 different kinds of rhyme in the same poem, and her punctuation was definitely outside the norm. Any editor who looked at her work thought that it should be changed, thought that it would be different or should be different, and she knew what she wanted it to be. I love that about her.
For sure. We were talking a little bit earlier about support systems within, like, your community. Do you have anything to say about that, especially for single moms?
For single moms, and I think honestly for any mom or any parent for that matter, parenting is just not a solitary act. It's not the kind of thing that I recommend anybody do alone. And I'm not doing it alone, even as a single mom. I have friends who will take the kids when I need a break. I have just a wonderful support network that makes sure that not only they show my kids that they're interested in their lives, but they encourage me to keep doing what I'm doing. And sometimes you just need somebody else to say you're doing a good job, you're raising good kids.
You are.
Well, thank you. I think so, but it's really nice to hear that from somebody else. And I don't think we compliment parents enough. There's a lot of criticism when we think that they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
But some of the best words I've ever received came from somebody I didn't even know at a grocery store. This woman stopped me and she said, "You are such a gentle mother. You're doing a great job." That made my month. I'm still talking about it. This is 2 years ago.
Mandy's children are little articulate geniuses, so she's definitely doing a good job. Okay, just to wrap it up, do you have any advice for single mothers other than, things that you already mentioned, maybe?
Sure. I think everybody needs something that lights their fire. Whether it's writing or painting, dancing or singing, creating something, whatever it is that you do just for yourself, find that thing and make sure that you take some time to do it. It's important for our kids to see us doing something we love because it gives them permission at a very early age to find what they love and start doing it too. And they need to see that by example.
Awesome. I think that's amazing advice. All right, Mandy. Well, thank you so much for coming to Coffee with Ty, a part of Spark History Year, Women's History Year.